So you are lying down, comfortable and supported with all the props that you want or desire or need. Enjoy them. Thank you for coming to practice today. We're going to start with a body scan. This is a wonderful way to check in. You just notice without changing anything. There's no pressure to change anything or create any movement. It's just bringing awareness to parts of your body. Make sure that you're comfortable and just take a few deep breaths. You might even allow a gentle sigh out of your mouth. And you can close your eyes if you'd like. Let your body just breathe on its own natural rhythm. And you'll begin to just observe the body without changing. Feel what is touching the floor and what is not. Notice where your attention goes. Feel your legs and your feet. Does one heel have a stronger connection to the floor than the other? Just noticing. Are they pointing in the same direction? Don't change. One leg may feel longer than the other. And are your knees pointing in the same direction? Notice your pelvis. Which side of the pelvis feels heavier or more grounded? Which side of your pelvis feels higher toward the shoulder than the other? And bring your awareness to your lower back, your lumbar spine. How much space between your lower back and the floor? Just notice. Notice your rib cage. Does one side feel heavier than the other? And your shoulder blades. Maybe one feels more connected to your mat than the other. And your shoulders. One may feel higher and closer to the ears than the other. Notice your head. Your head is resting maybe on a pillow or a blanket or your mat. It might be tilted more to one side than the other. And if you were lying on a balance beam, which side would you fall? Where would your weight be? Do you feel balanced As you're lying here, you're safe on the floor. Just feel which side you might lean toward, if there is a side. Uh-oh, there's my mom. Sorry. Now imagine if you were lying on the beach. What imprint would your body make on the sand? Where are the valleys? Where are the crests? Take a few breaths, just scanning your own body, inhabiting your own body here in this moment for this practice. And begin to take a deeper breath. And you can invite some gentle movement, fingers, toes. And you may like to turn your head side to side a few times. And you can bring your hands to your heart. Grateful for these moments of stillness, for our practice. Let's send some love out to the world from our hearts outward. When you're ready, please draw your knees in toward your chest. And you can stay still or you can gently rock side to side. That can be the tiniest movement, or you can use your arms and rock all the way until your arm stops you from falling over. So do what feels good here for these first gentle movements. Maybe your head will turn if you're moving side to side. Your head can go the opposite way, creating a little counterbalance. Remembering stillness is always an option, focused on your breath. Coming back to center, let your arms and your legs float up, very soft. You're not trying to reach them to the sky. Just allow them to be knees bent, your elbows can be bent. And we'll have some circles, wrists and ankles. Switch direction with your circles. Go ahead and bring your feet down. Keep your knees bent. And if you would like to add any type of little cushion under your bottom or your pelvis, you can do that. We're going to practice some movement with our toes here, but this whole time that we're on our backs, if you need a little support or extra cushion under you, please add that. Nothing too dramatic, okay? Just a little cush. Let your arms rest wherever. And you'll just start by lifting and lowering all the toes. And sometimes just thinking about this is enough. If the toes don't feel like moving, that's quite all right. Allow the rest of your body to be relaxed as the toes lift and lower. You know, you can lift just the right toes and then lower them, and just the left. So just one set of toes lifts. You can switch back and forth. And all the toes down, and we'll practice just lifting the big toes up and down. The rest of the body still relaxed. As we get more precise with the toes, sometimes the fingers try to help, or the face. Now allow just the right big toe to lift, and then lower it, just the left one. And we'll try switching back and forth, just one side, big toe, and then the other. Big toes can rest. Big toes will stay down now, and you'll lift all the other toes and lower. Both feet, all the toes are lifting except the big toes. Lift and lower. Notice the rest of your body. Breathing in, breathing out, staying peaceful. Now let's try just one side. So the left toes, every toe except the big toe is lifting. And then lower and try the right side. Big toe stays down, other toes lift. Release and switch. And you'll go side to side, not rushing, feeling which toes are really happy and excited about this movement, and maybe you have some that are resistant. And all your toes down now. Sometimes helpful to close your eyes for this part so you can really focus. Bring your awareness to the pinky toe and the big toe. And those toes will stay down. Pinky toe and big toes staying down. The middle toes will try to lift. Middle toes only are trying to lift while we stay relaxed and breathe. You can release that work and then try again. Pinky toe, big toe down, middle toes trying to lift. You might even notice a difference between one side and the other. One foot for me really gets this, and the other one's like, what are you doing? Release. And let's try it one more time. Pinky toe, big toe down, middle toes trying to lift. And release. Last part, you'll keep your feet down, your toes down. Hopefully everything relaxed, but you're going to try to lift the arches. Just lift the arches, but try not to scrunch the toes to do it or scrunch the foot to do it. Just see if you can feel some action in your feet, lifting the arches. Release and try it a couple times, trying to lift the arches, release, and try one more time. And release. Draw your right leg in. You'll hold behind the thigh. And let's straighten and bend the right leg a few times. So when you hug your leg in, you can bring it in as far as you want, but then you can also relax, let it feel very comfortable. And then you straighten and bend the right leg. We'll do one more on this side. And then you'll switch, hugging the left leg in, hold behind the thigh. Find that perfect amount of hug. Then left leg, bend and straighten. One more on this side. And draw both legs in. You can hold one hand behind each leg, or you can be hands-free. And we'll straighten and bend both legs. And they can be touching, or they can be apart, a little space. See which way feels best. reaching the legs toward the sky and bending. The goal is not straight leg or legs. The goal is just the movement and the breath and intention counts. One more time. And you can have the legs up again, holding them up and maybe adding the arms. And we'll go apart and together. Any amount, arms and legs wide and back together. One more time. A yoga flow without a push-up. Yay. Okay, bring your legs back down, release your arms, and your left leg will come on top for thread the needle. Many options. As you know, you can keep your right foot down. You can draw your legs in toward your body, holding the right leg or not. And because we were talking to our feet and our toes a lot, if you can reach the right, no, what foot is on top? Left. The left foot, maybe you give a little foot massage. You can say hello to the arch. You could give a little pull of each toe, gentle. And you might put the fingers between the toes, trying to spread them out. Maybe squeeze the fingers or squeeze your toes. And releasing the foot, keep your thread the needle, any variation. We'll take a few more breaths here. Consider an open mouth exhale. Releasing this first side. We'll take right leg on top for the second side. Just notice first, you can start and you may decide to stay with the left foot connected to the ground. Or you can draw your legs in toward your body, holding the left thigh or the shin. Maybe you're going to visit the left foot. No, the right foot. Oh my goodness. You can massage the arch a little bit, give a little pull of each toe, gentle and kind. Maybe the fingers between the toes. Why is that so challenging? Different side. Squeeze the fingers or the toes. And release, keep your shape. Change the variation if you'd like. We'll spend a few more breaths here, considering open mouth exhale. And when you release, you can come into this kind of upside down child's pose, toes touching and knees wide, or you can just hug your knees in. And one other option, if it feels nice and you'd like, you can take happy baby here. Any variation, you never have to hold the feet. You can hold the shin, the ankles, anywhere that it feels good. Oftentimes I hold the feet because my arms are very long, so I can reach. And maybe no matter which position you are with the legs, you might gently rock side to side. Coming back to center and release your legs all the way out. And take your arms out in a T and pause. Let your whole body inhale and exhale. You might do a little scan, noticing how the legs are lying on the mat and the pelvis and the rib cage and the low back, just noticing the parts. How is your head resting now and your shoulders? Big breath in and out. 2 more times. You can bend your knees or try something a little bit different. Nothing too shocking. So an option is we're kind of creating a march with the legs. So I want you to lift from your center. If lifting the legs like this does not feel good, then remember, like, you could hug it in. So have your hands ready and let the hands help with the leg. Otherwise, you're marching. Maybe it's a little march, lifting the foot. That actually can feel a little bit more challenging with the core. So just notice, rest when you want, and then come back. Feel this little marching action. Notice your low back. If it's creating a big arch, maybe you lower it a little bit. I kind of like to press my back down into the mat when I'm doing core work. That's not the answer. It's what works for me. So we learn what is good for our bodies in our practice. And trying 1 or 2 more on each side. And then we're going to add on. Okay, from here, the feet are planted. You can add your arms or not, but we'll take some bridges, lifting up and lowering. Let's do a few like that so we get that bridge feeling. Again, if you'd like, you can have your arms going up and over as you do the bridge. Feel the glutes, so we want to be strong in the buttocks. Okay, let's do one more. And then we're putting these moves together now. Many options. I will try not to be confusing. We take one of our marches, the pelvis is down. We march once each leg, then we lift into a bridge and we lower. We march each leg, bridge lift with arms or without, and lower. Let's get that pattern because there's one more surprise coming. Not yet, not yet. March each leg, bridge, and lower. And let's do one more like that. Each leg, march. And our bridge. And we'll come down. Okay. This next part, you might just think about it, or you might do what we just did, where you march each leg and then you take a bridge up and down. Otherwise, we still do the march, each leg. Now you come up into your bridge. Hold the bridge. Think about a strong, even pelvis, and you march one leg, then the other. Don't tip over and then come down. If it's too much, it's too much. So we honor. March one leg. Take a bridge. Maybe a little march in bridge. I'm using my arms to press down to help with that. Okay, so the pelvis is on the ground for one march, and then a bridge and a march. This is very strong for the legs and beyond because we have to stay steady in the pelvis, which takes core and so much more. Pelvis down for a march and then into a bridge for a march. Ooh, I'm a little wobbly. Let's try a couple more. Rest is always a good option. Strong in the bridge, then lift and lift. Okay, we have one more. And when you come down, take the feet a little wider. You can take your arms out in a T. Take a few wipers, maybe turning the head the opposite way. And stretch your body all the way out again. You can keep the arms in a T or bring them back by your sides. Just let the body breathe here in stillness, front, back, and sides. Inhale and exhale. Two more full body breaths here. When you're ready, draw your knees in toward your chest. Just a breath or two right here. And then your arms will come up. We're taking a little bicycle ride. It's been a minute, so you can hold your imaginary handlebars and you'll begin to pedal your bicycle. Find a pedaling that feels good. The legs can be close to the body, a tiny pedal, or you can make it really big. You have to do the one that feels good and safe in your body. Breathing and pedaling. Let's try reversing. And we'll go forward one more time. Go ahead and bring your arms down and your feet down. If you're already on a cushion, you can add a little bit to it, or if it feels enough, you can keep that. We'll take supported bridge. So I'm going to use a pillow. You can use a bolster, whatever you have. Keeping the support under your head and your neck, or not. Now, this will depend on what you feel, what you need right now. You can keep your feet and your legs neutral in supported bridge, or you could take the feet a smidge wider, let the knees fall together. Maybe you'd like to add your other pillow. That's kind of nice. And then your arms can be in a T or a cactus, or maybe hands on your belly. And find this comfortable bridge, gentle inversion, and then settle in. Take the first few breaths just to arrive. Invite a softness and a gentleness with the breath, like the inhale turns into the exhale and the exhale turns into the inhale. It's a very, very fluid feeling. If at any point you want to take your legs up into the sky, you can do that. Otherwise, stay right here. Breathe in, breathe out. Fluid, flowing breath. We'll spend about another minute here. And at the bottom of your next exhale, you can begin to slowly come out of this posture, taking the pillow out, removing the cushion from beneath your pelvis. You can add your pillow back in if you had it out. And you might have your cushions on your side body. We'll take a gentle twist now. I'm going to give a couple of options. You can shift your pelvis to the left a little bit and draw the knees in, and then take the knees over to the right. Arms can be in a T. Or you may like to just start with your feet on the ground. You can shift the pelvis to the left or not, and drop the knees, just keeping the feet on the ground. Maybe place the second pillow between the legs. This is a really nice, gentle variation. My feet are on the ground. I've got a little sandwich with the bolsters or the pillows and my legs. Arms can be in a T or any place, and then you could look the opposite way. Find a soft breath, even though there's a rotation and there's always a little bit of constriction. Feels like there's a little bit of effort for breathing. And find an ease and a grace. Allow the breath. You can draw yourself back to center, switching your props as necessary. And this time, shifting the pelvis to the right. You can draw the knees in, take them to the left, or keep your feet on the ground and just drop the legs to the left. Arms in a T, and maybe your gaze the opposite way of the legs. Two more breaths. And you'll bring yourself back to center. You can take your cushions underneath your thighs and stretch out into Shavasana. Cover up with a blanket if you'd like. Make it cozy. We're back to cozy weather. Let your body rest. And before you completely surrender, just do the tiniest little scan, noticing from your head down to your shoulders and your arms and hands, your torso and your pelvis, your legs, and your feet, how your body is resting on the beach or on that balance beam. And then surrender, rest, Shavasana. Bring your awareness back to your breath. And let each breath get a little bit fuller than the one previous. You can wiggle fingers and toes. If it feels good in your body, take a full body stretch, reaching the limbs. When you're ready, please bend your knees and roll to one side, fetal pose. We'll start our evening from this place, maybe a little renewed, a little rested. And bring yourself up to sit. And touch your hands together and bring them to your forehead. May you share good thoughts with yourself and with others. And hands to your mouth. May you share good words with yourself and with others. And hands in front of your heart. May you share good love with yourself and with others. Take great care. Thank you for sharing your practice this evening. Namaste.